doubles and coffee. Well, Con Imba went quiet England to embarrass Trinidad and Tobago again. The PNM once again, the Privy Council could not believe what was going on between the government, the Minister of Finance and the Auditor General. In fact, one of the law lords said, why are you not investigating the government? Why are you not investigating the Ministry of Finance? Why is the Minister of Finance not being investigated? Because the taxpayers' money is missing. Now remember, the Privy Council had a judgment recently with the TTRA, and Imbat and Amor went celebrating that they had won, and the TTRA could come and they could take your taxes, they could get in your money, and they could appoint the board of the TTRA, and the board of the PNM board could appoint the general inspector and all the other big officials. And the PNM went around celebrating victory at the Privy Council. But they didn't read the part of the judgment that told you that what must happen is that there must be zero political interference. There must not even be the appearance of political interference in the appointment of the board and the officials at the TTRA in order for it to be constitutional and legal. PNM choosing a board, choosing every board member, and the PNM board choosing basically the CEO, the director, the inspector general, and all the other positions in your taxes. That's what they said. Do you believe that it will be bereft of political interference under the PNM? 7 weeks later, the board of the Privy Council makes a judgment. They did not even have to hear alternative positions or arguments. Do you understand how ludicrous that is? Do you understand what a waste of money that is? Do you understand that for independent human beings who do not know the politics, who know nothing about it, who actually made a judgment last month that it's constitutional for the government to appoint people to go and implement taxation and assess taxation and assess penalties and so on, once there is no political interference whatsoever? That's the way they look at the law. But they didn't understand what is PNM. They don't know what is PNM. The next case came up and they saw what is PNM, what is IMBAT, what is ludicrous argument that they would take taxpayers' money to reach quiet England to argue a case that did not require an argument. The law lord sat down after hearing Douglas Mendes SC, who has no shame. And let me remind you, this is the same Douglas Mendes SC who named jumping up with Gilbert Peterson, who the government paid your money, millions of dollars, for advice that they said the indemnity that the Attorney General, who's in charge of civil matters, was negotiating with a witness in a so-called criminal trial against opponents, against people in the opposition, that Douglas Mendes said and gave the government, the PNM, the green light that is legitimate, that is legal, to go and promise Vincent Nelson whatever he wants in order for him to be a witness against former UNC officials. That is the same Douglas Mendes that got more money to run up in England. So he didn't know that the Court of Appeal was right. He didn't see that the arguments had no merit. He couldn't tell that he was going to embarrass himself, his family, his law firm, and his country, and his PNM government quite in England. He didn't know that. Part and parcel of a lawyer's oath when they take office and they call to the bar is to do what is right by your client. Did Douglas Mendes do what is right by the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago by carrying a case forward that did not require a rebuttal? Every last cent must be repaid by Douglas Mendes. Colmimbert must resign. The entire PNM has collapsed and they should call an election. This is the second time the Privy Council has been shocked at the parochial, simplistic, myopic, dictatorial, political, unethical, immoral actions of the PNM. Remember when they announced that they're going to withdraw the case weak against Malcolm Jones, and the Privy Council was in shock. The board was in shock that there was so much political interference that they would have known that a man who gave his full opinion would give a paragraph arguing with himself. That is what the PNM does. The PNM is attacking the Auditor General. That's what the UNC was saying. Just because the Auditor General is doing her job. Nobody knew the Auditor General before Coleman Butt and Armour went on an attack, scathing attack in Parliament, in the Senate, sent pre-action protocol letters. The board of the Privy Council said that you're oppressive, tyrannical, you're in a dictatorship, where your arguments have no merit. What are you doing? Allow the independent institution to function. Allow the Auditor General to ask you where the money gone. That's what the Privy Council has done. And they ask, why is him but not under investigation? Because we live in an oppressive, tyrannical dictatorship, and you, the right-thinking citizens, have to end it. You have to unite and vote UNC. There is no choice. Any independent-minded, they didn't even need to hear another argument. Do you understand? Lawyers can argue anything, left, right, up, down. The board of the Privy Council did not need to hear the PNM so ludicrous, so asinine, so dotish, so corrupt, so wrong was their original position that they send them away without even needing to hear Annan Rablogan say good morning. That is PNM. And if that don't put the political nails in the PNM coffin for the next 20 years, let them go and rebrand, send away all that exists now, find young ones and try to come again, then something is indeed wrong with us as a people. That is clear, cogent, independent, impartial evidence that the PNM is corrupt to the core. And while we say all of this, 2.6 billion missing in revenue and 1 billion missing and unaccounted for in expenditure of your money by these same dishonest, pathological, lying, arrogant PNM. Bless. Have a good Sunday. Think about that and get ready. And get ready with passion. Get ready with brain. Get ready to show them that Trinidad and Tobago is better than that. That they are unpatriotic for embarrassing the country with such spurious, asinine, ignorant, corrupt, immoral, unethical arguments. Bless.